Everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Live's favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at @DMarkJohnNFL for me, at MHolder95 for Matt, and of course, Panda Subs. Discount code TDL for 35% off. All right, so we're doing a film review of back-to-back losses here. I mean, this was a little bit a better effort for me on film. You know, it was there was some highs and lows, but for Matt, it was a little brutal, I guess.
Yeah, it was brutal. I mean, we'll get into it a little bit, but yeah, it's frustrating because they regressed. Like, there were so many coverage breaks and so many things that, like, they could have controlled. Like, obviously the talent stopping Travis Kelce, no one does that in the league, right? But there was just so many like mental mistakes. Like, and we'll get into them. Like, where I'm like, this is not the team that's been playing for the last 2 weeks, or really the last whole year, at least defensively for most of the season. And I mean, against a good team like that, like again, they have so much talent. They have a weapon, and that's hard to stop in Kelce. You can't give them those type of mistakes. And it was, at least defensively, pretty clear that they're just not ready to compete with them. And yeah.
So let me ask you this. So the first half, right, they played pretty well to start the game. What do you think was really the change? Is this just them going to the short passes, or is that was basically what happened in that game?
I mean, a little bit. It was a little bit like it was Mahomes tried his one deep ball, and I think those two in like those first two drives, but like he only threw it deep once, or over 20 yards once. And then I think too, that's when the coverage breaks started happening. Guys started whiffing, and it was just, again, it was hard to recognize the team and hard to like pinpoint one thing. But I mean, the Chiefs were definitely, they were trying the short passes in the beginning of the game. I think the Raiders just had a little bit more fire and were ready to go for them. And then, yeah, it was just like they just forgot how to play ball almost. And I mean, Antonio Pierce talked about it. Like, we'll get into that too. Like, a lot of their formations, like, and a lot of the stuff they were doing, like, there were some tells that they could have picked up on, and they just didn't. And maybe that's part of having guys in and out. A guy like Marcus Peters not giving great effort, and so I don't know. It was hard to like really pinpoint, but even against the run, dude, like we're obviously not going to touch into that too much. Just going to stick to the passing game, but like, granted, he didn't have a ton of carries, but I don't know how Isaiah Pacheco didn't average more yards. Like, they were like getting pushed in up front too. Like, it was just an all around ass beating. And when Max Crosby wasn't himself, like they had nothing. Like I know he was out there, but he wasn't really like, Max Crosby out there. And like, to me, like, that was part of it too. Like, he kind of saved them and could kind of cover up a lot of what they had going on, and not having him there was made it tougher, or not having 100%.
Yeah, who basically saw what life would be like without Max Crosby, basically. Yes. And he was out there actually playing. I still thought he played too many snaps. I thought that was crazy to even to do that to him. And I know what he's saying, but man, I mean, he wasn't really a factor in the game, and then he kind of just messing up the knee even more. And and I mean, they're 5-7. I mean, they're not out of the playoffs. So even if you had that thought process, like, now he's ruined his knee even more. So it's like, I don't know. That was weird.
Did you see that picture that was floating around of his knee?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
dude, that was nasty. Like all the fluid and the swelling that was in it, like, it doubled in size.
Like, it's week 12, man. I mean, even then, you got to buy. I don't think he should have played. I think they should have told him that no. Yeah. Hey, I know that we can't stop you from playing, but yes, we can, because we don't want you to hurt yourself or make your knee even worse, man. Like his knee could have went out, and then he could have been out for the season. I don't know. I didn't like that game plan, really.
Yeah. I mean, it's just tough when you're Antonio Pierce and you're vying for a job, and you're like, you need that guy out there. I'm like, you can play, right? You can play.
It goes both ways. A little leadership too. Kind of tell him he needs to sit his ass down, but
we'll see.
I don't know.
Hopefully he gets right during the bye. Hopefully gets that thing drained and doesn't a persisting issue.
Yeah. So defense, they didn't really show up like they expected them to, and the offense really was upset that the defense didn't show up like they expected it to, because they were expecting a 17-14 game, I guess. I mean, that's what they're expecting. A battle royale at 20-17 versus Kansas City Chiefs. That's really how they play football this game. It was really kind of a little bit annoying to watch it, because they just got so conservative. Like when they came out, like there's a point where it was like 14-0, right? And the Chiefs scores 14-7, and something happens, and they go 3-and-out doing something, and they run like a screen on 3rd and 10, and they ran like 2 run plays in a row or something like that, or they ran on 2nd and 10, something stupid, and I was like, okay, but you're playing Patrick Mahomes. He just went down and scored a touchdown, so we're just gonna do a screen on 3rd and 10. That hey, it might work, but like your defense isn't that good. So obviously they had a little overconfidence in the defense, which bothered me a lot. I mean, okay, your defense is average. That's great. We got an average defense right now. We're good in some spots. I mean, there's some highlights. We're like, okay, there's some growth for some young players you want to see right there, but backtrack here. They're still average and they're playing Patrick Mahomes. So you have to kind of put that in perspective of how they played. That was my problem. I mean, I feel like Aiden O'Connell was having his best game of the year. And I feel like on 2nd and 10, he can get 8 yards. Like it's better for him to get 8 yards than try to run into guys when they're fully ready for the run game and they're stacking the box and they got 7 across. I mean, they got the five-man fronts, the over fronts, whatever the hell you want to call it. They were doing it to stop the zone runs, and it's going to keep happening. So I think they got to back teams up in a different way, to be honest, because they got more defensive ends on the field, and then you could bring Michael Mayer out and just spread them out. I don't know, but it's hard to get a bull hard degree though, because there's some creativity that I liked. That I was watching, but it's just a conservative approach. Like the back runs, you're down 21-14. You want to come out and run the ball twice. First run gets like 3 yards, and you want to run the ball again. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, dog. Like, no, we're gonna lose. Yeah. You're going to lose, bro. Doing that. You know what I mean? So, especially since Aiden was playing well, and they're like betting on him to be good on 3rd down. That's not gonna work. I mean, all game you're gonna miss some 3rd downs, and that's what happened. That's what I'm gonna go over. I'm going over all the 3rd downs. Because that really was the game. They were like dependent on Aiden O'Connell completing a pass on 3rd down. I'm like, man, that's just not the greatest game. But go ahead.
What was it? They started 5 for 5 and then finished like 1 for 6 or whatever. Like, yeah. And I mean, that's the NFL, right? What is? I mean, I don't even know what's the average like 3rd down conversion. Probably like gotta imagine
42%, right? Like 42 probably.
Float around 50%, something like that. Yeah. So. Tough one.
You can't depend on that. You just can't force a run. You're just stuffing and stuffing, and you know what I mean? Like, yo,
it kind of feel like a Gruden game plan. Like we're playing for 3rd and short basically the entire game and trying to convert the whole time. Like that. Like based on what you're saying, like I'm like that's giving me flashbacks a little bit, like the old West Coast offense philosophy, I guess, a little bit, where
that's what they look like. They look like a West Coast offense this week. That's what they look like, bro. They look like a West Coast offense. I'm like, we're like totally switchy here. Like it was more West Coasty. Every single thing that I saw, I was like, okay, we're getting like this is some West Coast stuff. And I mean, can we at least get some more bootlegs then? I need some more bootlegs here off this outside zone stuff. That's all. Like, I mean, every time they did a bootleg, they got like 10 yards. So like. Obviously, they got 5-man fronts with a bunch of linemen out there. Get these, Michael Mayer, bro. Like, I don't know. It's just the thing. Hopefully, they're watching these things and they're adjusting, because I think they have some good matchups. You're going 12 personnel. You got Michael Mayer. You got these defensive linemen out there. And it can be fun for all of them. So that's what I'm saying. All right, Matt. What should we do? Should we hurt their feelings first, or should we do some positivity mixed with negativity? I think it's a better transition. I'm gonna go first because I got positivity, and then it goes into negativity, and then you just finish off with negativity. So I think
we're just ending on the negative note. All right.
So let's do it this way. All right. So we start with the first 3rd down here. This is the play action 3rd and 2. But this is their whole game plan: run, 3rd and 2. Aiden, save us. That was basically the game plan.
Save us.
Yeah, please save us. So we're getting the basic, kind of Yankee concept: post, over route, and a post. But we're getting a little mixed in here because it's basically 11 personnel, which is not usual for like the Yankee concept. It's usually max protection.
Right.
We're ready to get like a return route, kind of a whip route right here from Jacoby Myers, which just get a hold this corner right here. Doesn't let him drift as much, right? And kind of creates this opening. Now, this is Devontae Adams' best route of the day here. What he does to Snead here. It's kind of see, but let's also talk about this corner, this player right here, this safety. Let's say Myers is not here. He's drifting a little bit, right? He's drifting back, but he's worried about Myers, so he's got to come down and play that route, which leaves Adams wide open after he just works Snead here a little bit. Just a little suddenness. Gets wide open. O'Connell's a little late. That's why that ball's behind him. So just a tiny bit late. Just a tiny bit. Watch one more time.
Yeah, ball.
Yeah. But he's so wide open, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Easy 35. Watch from the backhand here. Good pocket there. Okay. Good start. I mean, this is the first drive. We're all hyped as Raiders fans. We're excited here. All right. Next play here. All right, this one. So we're getting a little basically a choice route here with this seam, and then we're getting a flat route. Okay. So this is a play I've never really seen them run before. I've never seen Josh McDaniels run this play. It was interesting play call. But we want the quick out here. We want the quick out to Adams. That's what we're looking for. That's what Aiden O'Connell's going to open up to. Okay. So they are coming with the blitz here. They blitzed him all game. They blitzed him a lot. Well, not a lot, but it's very timely. It was always on third down. So you see Jacobs makes a great block here. But O'Connell wants Adams, but let's watch Adams a little bit. Right? They're playing outside leverage on this out route. So Adams really doesn't get any separation. But O'Connell does a good job of coming back here. I mean, he could have threw to Tucker. Right? Tucker is there. But this guy's about to hit him anyways. I mean, it's not a bad decision. It's a first down. And they scored on this drive, so it's all right.
Yeah, no harm, no foul, but the safety with his hips the other way.
I know. I mean, it's you see it, but it's like yeah. I mean, that's a touchdown, but like that's not terrible. Yeah. We get a first down though.
Like we said, it's West Coast offense now, man. Can't go broke making a profit.
Exactly. Kyle Shanahan would definitely approve of that. Because the pass he was freaking out about with Brock Purdy, I'm like, why wouldn't you want Brock Purdy to make that throw like that? That's an open lane, Kyle. Kyle's like, that was just a wild decision. I was like, man, like, what are you talking about? He had Jimmy Garoppolo way too long. All right, so this one I really liked here because they really got them confused. I mean, I really don't know what concept they're trying to run because Hunter Renfrow just basically kind of just a pick route in my opinion for Jacoby Myers. But you see what Justin Reed, he's going over there, but they're kind of expecting in kind of this quarters coverage that they're playing. I mean, they're playing some fun coverages for O'Connell, man. And Jacoby Myers had a really good game from Jacoby.
Yeah,
he balled.
I feel like this was one of his best games as a Raider.
Yeah, for sure. I think they should have him the ball more. Yeah. Nice move in the open field, touchdown. You see how they got him confused. They're expecting a switch here.
Yeah.
And we're going to get a switch.
We'll see something similar later.
Just a lot more often.
Yeah.
Worse. All right. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, this is the first drive, guys. This is a great start here. First drive. On these third down, but you know what I mean. There's like 4 third down conversions on the first drive for that touchdown.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Yeah, nice play. All right, next drive we get third down again. We're third and I believe 6 on this one. Now this one's interesting because I believe the play call is supposed to go over here. Okay, so what Chiefs are showing this, he's playing press, right? So they're going to end up in kind of like basically a cover 4 type of look, but he's going to turn around early because I think he's expecting some kind of out route. I don't know what he's expecting, but he's going to turn around early, and then Jacoby Myers is going to hit him over the top of the head right here. So, but they're basically trying to set up this opening for Adams, which they run this play a lot when they try to get a pick route here. But he thinks he's getting basically man to man here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he goes with the fade. But I feel like this isn't man. That's why he turned around so early. There's some kind of switch here, right? But that's just a great ball. It didn't matter. But I mean, if you look over here, if he didn't think it was man to man, okay, which I believe he thought he was getting some man coverage here, that press coverage. You see, the safety's all the way over here. Adams is just wide open over here. If he just, so still a great throw. That's a great ball though. But that's kind of showed the Chiefs were throwing at O'Connell too a little bit. They were throwing some funky stuff at him. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. And he was making some plays, but sometimes that's just the throw just beats the coverage.
That's a beautiful ball, man.
I know, man.
Beautiful whole shot.
All right, so here's the option play. So we're going with the option here on 3rd and 1. This I like the creativity of this because this guy goes right to Jacobs and it opens up a easy lane for Myers there for a first down though. You get creative on 3rd and 1. I'm not a big fan of outside runs that much, but you see how they got this safety right here to kind of bite on Jacobs. Or is it? That's not the safety. That is a safety. And again, a first down there. All right, 3rd and 11 here. So we're getting a spot concept here to the bottom. So spot concept, flat, curl, corner route, flag route. And that's what he's gonna be working on this one. We're getting cover 2 here. So I mean, he does a good job reading this, and he gets it out really good on time, a good pocket movement. You kind of see, Adams are not even out of his break yet, but the ball's just a little high, which I think doesn't allow Adams to get yak on it.
Yeah.
Watch it again. I mean, it's everything's good except the ball comes out a little high here, and let's check the backside. Right read, quick read too. Like how quick he read it, but it was just the throw's just a little bit high. Right, because you see
Van Roten gets beat a little bit. Yeah. Nice recovery though. I feel like
probably,
that's why it sailed on him a little bit because he had to hitch and throw it at the same time.
Yeah, kind of rushed the throw, but still good anticipation here. Yeah. All right, so here we go again. Now this is I think it's I believe this is 14-7. I believe it might be 21-14, but this is a 3rd down they ended up missing here on this one. Basically you're getting a kind of a wheel out here from Tucker, but you're gonna get a 1-on-1 here with Adams and Snead again, basically on the safety rotation, how these safeties rotate, right? So this guy, they basically end up in kind of like a man-to-man here because this guy's kind of basically going to come and get whatever Mayer's doing right here. But you see on this play, like is some pick a side type of stuff. So if he went to this side, he has Myers. Myers is pretty damn open on the fade right there. But to me, it's not too crazy because if you watch O'Connell, so watch O'Connell right here. So you see he's seeing the safety rotation. This is a pretty good job by him. I got safeties rotating. What does this mean? I got a 1-on-1 with Devontae Adams on a corner route. And to be honest, Devontae, he just doesn't win here.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, he just doesn't win. But if you just think about how this play plays out after the snap, right? And the rotation of the safety, you see at O'Connell's eyes, because he even kind of looks at Myers, and but I mean, you get Devontae 1-on-1 like this, you expect him to win, and that's kind of what happens. It makes it a tougher throw, and great coverage there by Snead.
Kind of makes me wonder if like Snead's physicality was wearing on Adams a little bit because I feel like normally he bursts out of there and is off to the races,
Yeah. Locked him up. All right. So this is his probably his best throw of the game. All right. So here we're getting another kind of whip route and getting a slot fade, and we're getting a kind of a curl wheel basically on the other side right here. So this is kind of a wheel route, curl fade, whatever they like to call it. And this is a great throw. This is quick, decisive. You see, Myers is just balling, man. So great sweet. Throw. All right. You're not even getting the blitz, right? Just enough time. Parham, it was struggling a little bit, but good throw, man. Just right around the money. Great catch, though, too. Can't forget about the catch. But that's 3rd and 4, man. That's very difficult. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They're just playing with fire the whole game. So here we go. Once again, we're getting basically kind of like another motion wheel here, and then we're getting a 1-on-1 slant. He probably is an option route. I'm betting it is. But we'll talk about that in a second. And then we get a kind of corner route, and then basically another kind of whip route here from Hunter Renfrow. So of course, I mean, you look at this, and you're like, okay, I'm getting a 1-on-1 with Devontae Adams again, right? Now he's playing inside leverage, right? So I don't know if this is a choice route. It might just be a pure slant. It might just be a pure slant. I could be wrong. I have no idea, guys. But I mean, he just doesn't win here, and that's basically how this plans. So I mean, inside leverage, right? I mean, it's a little bit, it's just. And then like maybe if he targets Myers, he gets Myers 1-on-1 on the safety here. But I mean, he's got Devontae Adams 1-on-1 here. It's 3rd and 6 or something like that. You just expected him to win on that. But Snead, locking him up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, this is against the blitz. He's got to get rid of this ball quick. Right, I mean, they do not pick up the blitz very well here at all. Right, I mean, Parham he just ducks right under. and then he kind of drop it. I don't know. Yeah, so that was kind of that play with that one. And then we got a couple more 3rd downs here. This one, we're getting a quick out to Michael Mayer. This is a good route by Mayer here. So we're getting this kind of a flat with the fade again. See how Mayer creates separation at the top of his stem. He's just a physical tight end. Like even if you're playing tough, you got tight coverage on him. He's just gonna give you a savage little push because he's so big. Get that first down. And then you can't even take him down. Yeah, but they got to target him a little bit more too. I think you see it a lot, pretty good from this side too with this route. See just that. Yeah. I mean, we're not gonna show too much of that because we don't want them to give pass interference from next week, but or after the bye week. But and then here's this one. They're probably going back to Mayer here, but this one, he just gets hit in the head. I don't know how this was roughing the passer. I was thinking about that a lot. I was watching this. I've seen worse
too.
I've seen worse. I've seen worse calls than this.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is kind of the blitzes they're bringing, man. They're coming with the heavy blitzes. I mean, this is
Dylan Parham.
Parham was awful. He was awful this game. He was awful, man. Everybody else was actually pretty good. He was awful, and then Michael Mayer gave up all their other pressures. But just like it's just a hit in the head. You know what I mean? Like it's 15 yards. I don't know. All right. So that was the offense. Yeah. I mean, the whole game was 3rd down. I could show you all the runs, but they ran the ball so damn much that it got kind of crazy there. There were some play actions on 1st down a couple times that some bootlegs that got some nice chunk yards on, but yeah. It was mostly 3rd down. Save us, Aiden O'Connell, please, from the pocket. And if you can't, then we're gonna give the ball right back to
let him go right down the field.
Yeah, so that's what it was. And you said by the end of the game, as the game went along, the 3rd downs just didn't work anymore, and the Raiders ended up losing. So that was basically the game. There's no other way to explain it on offense. I mean, there's some nice plays on offense, some nice plays in the run game. You had the 63-yard touchdown from Josh Jacobs. There are some highlights there. It's just, when you just keep banging your head against the wall, it just doesn't work after a while. But
yeah, that makes sense. Should we move on to the defense? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. Aiden O'Connell does look pretty good. After like about 5 starts, just like he looked pretty good this game. He's definitely gonna give if they draft somebody, the guy's gonna get a lot of competition. That's what I would say. I don't know. I just felt like that he played pretty damn well in this game. They wasted it.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it. I mean, just from the outside perspective, like didn't turn the ball over, was efficient, like you're talking about, throwing with anticipation, like so much better from last week. Just the growth from the 2 weeks, I feel like was nice to see. So I'm curious, man, if you think he has a chance to keep him from drafting quarterback in these last 5 games, or is it pretty much a foregone conclusion?
I don't know. You have to look at the perspective here, because I mean he's a rookie, right? He's a rookie. He's his first year in the NFL. I think if you look at over the 5 games, like the numbers aren't that sexy, right? Like 4 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. It's kind of 76 rating is real below average, right? But I think on film, I think you see some things that he just has a lot more wild throws than I would expect. I guess every game there's at least 2 of them, and in this game there was like 4 of them. So that's what the difference was for me from watching him on film in college and watching him here. Is just like there's a lot more like a potential of him being able to be an aggressive downfield thrower once he starts getting anticipation that he wants to get in the NFL. So I mean, there's a potential as him as a starter, I guess, after 5 games. I mean, a lot of guys don't look as good as he does after 5 games. I mean, so it's hard, but at the end of the day, he's a 4th round pick, so that's what he's fighting against, and that's what some people be like. Well, I mean, you're not a 1st rounder though, so that's basically what they're gonna do to him. So he's gonna get competition. I'm not saying that they shouldn't draft somebody. I'm not saying that. I'm not going that route, but don't be mad if they draft like a defensive tackle at 15. Still be mad.
And they could use that too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
these 2 guys played against the run this last week. So
yeah, exactly, man. All right, let's get into defense, bro.
Get into the defense. Get me up there. Mm-hmm. All right. So one thing I should have mentioned and didn't on this first one, when you're talking about what kind of changed in the second half, I don't know if it was something that like Andy Reid just picked up on mid game or like kind of had the game plan for. But he definitely outcoached Patrick Graham. Like there were a few plays like where you could tell he knew his tendencies and he knew what to play or what play to call. Like this is going to be a good example of it. The Raiders are going to be in cover 1 and they're going to get a crossing route. Are also bracketing Travis Kelce here at the top with Marcus Epps. I'm going to start going over kind of what Jack Jones can do a little bit better here. Now, again, this is a good play call where with this look and with this formation, like this bunch formation, pretty clear that the crossing route is coming. And again, against man coverage, this is a hard one to defend against because Jack Jones is going to have to navigate through some trash, avoid getting picked. But the biggest thing for me, like what he can do, and again, it's not much. He's not going to prevent the completion or anything, but he can maybe play this a little tighter and get to Rashee Rice a little bit better or a little bit faster to maybe prevent the first down because it's 3rd and 8 here. Is pre-snap. Like, I mean, he's 7 yards off the ball. I like him to be a little bit closer where Amik is and maybe overplay the inside post-snap a little bit more to play the drag route, or the crossing route, I should say. Just because if the Chiefs, they do run that little return route or whip route to the back to the sideline, like that's almost like a tip your cap. Like we want to take away their bread and butter at this point. Like, but again, not much you can do there. The other problem is, back this up, the bracket with Kelce, obviously with the isolating him, I think that's Marcus Peters over on this side, is if the Raiders are in like 2-man, obviously Marcus Epps wanting to have his eyes towards the play action and not locked on Kelce so he can help drive on this drag route and stop that first down.
Yeah.
But again, with them knowing that they're going to pay as much attention, especially in the red zone, to Kelsey after he scored 4 touchdowns against them last year.
Yeah.
Kind of take advantage of it and get somebody else the ball. And this is, I believe, their first touchdown drive that they ended up scoring like a few plays later with Pacheco at the 1 or something like that. So, again, knew what was coming a little bit from Andy Reid. Had a good play call for it. Not much Jack Jones can do. Maybe play a little inside leverage or cheat a little bit to take it away, but not much. Moving on to our good buddy Marcus Peters here. So this is after the missed tackle. So he actually got benched on this play and never saw the field, then ended up getting cut later. So one of the things that's frustrating for me is this is quarters, right? And again, another great play call by Andy Reid. Catches the Raiders in quarters, and he puts Divine Diablo in conflict because Divine Diablo's the curl, the flat defender. What do they give him? A curl and a flat route with the back out of the backfield. So it's going to be hard for Diablo to cover. And you can see him start to see that and starts to run out to the flat once Mahomes throws it there. And again, Marcus Peters, he's not going to prevent the incompletion, but once he sees 17 Mecole Hardman sit down and release inside at that 2, he's got to get his eyes back to something coming out here and not overplay his inside leverage. Like right now, him and Isaiah Polamau, they're both playing in covers, right? Or quarters, right? They both have a quarter of the field, and he's damn near even with them. Like, 2 yards of spacing? Like, he's way too far inside. So then they just dump it to Pacheco. And I mean, it's an easy first down. And the course, again, I don't know if he makes this play, but if you're not in the right area, I'd at least like to see you bust ass and try and get there to force the guy out of balance. But again, that was Marcus Peters' last play as a Raider. That's the to you going on. So enjoy that one, guys. Moving on. This one's tough. This one was just Raiders are in cover 2, excuse me. And then against this flood concept, this is tough too. Another great play call where with this flood and with this outside release from or this deep release from number 1, Divine Diablo's got to carry Kelsey around the field. The problem is he tries to like get physical with him and get contact on him. And if you listen to Antonio Pierce talking in his press conference, he said about how they tried that last year and it didn't work. Why? Because Travis Kelce's really good at playing through contact. Because he's like 260 or whatever he is, and he can still run.
Yeah.
So Divine Diablo tries to get his hands on him. But I mean, I don't know. You tell me, Marcus. Does Travis Kelce look like he's affected very much there?
No, he's not.
And that ends up with Divine Diablo getting flat-footed. So Kelce beats him to the corner. Also, too, hell of a ball from Patrick Mahomes. But again, those are the type of things you can't have happen against 2 elite guys like that.
Nope.
Can't give them any room for separation. Rough day for Divine Diablo, as we'll see in a couple more plays. All right, this one is where we start to get really frustrating. So we're going to watch our guys, Nate Hobbs and Robert Spillane here. Initially, great. Robert Spillane gets physical, puts the receiver on his ass. Problem is, the play's still going. No pass rush, what to speak. This is kind of what I was talking about, where Max Crosby wasn't himself. I mean, he gets a one-on-one block here against Jawan Taylor, who normally when he's healthy, he beats them no problem.
Yeah, they're blocking a one-on-one
all day. I know, yeah. Mahomes has him all day. Mahomes is all day, so Watson has enough time to get up off the ground, find the open area. Spillane and Nate Hobbs both get their eyes caught in their backfield. Hobbs even takes the cheese a little bit here with this little flat, or the Pacheco leaking out into the flat late. So there's really a wide open window. I mean, that's just easy as can be, right? No pass rush.
Where does Spillane think he was going? Like after he hit him, like I don't know why he just didn't stay on him.
That's kind of one of the things with him is he'll do it initially and then he'll just lock onto the quarterback. Like right now, this is good.
Yeah, but like, should you? He's gonna get up though. He's not. It's not like a video game. He's not dead. I mean, he's gonna get up. And there's nobody. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's
yeah.
like,
no, 1,000%.
It's awareness. It's awareness. I guess
it's awareness, and this is what I'm talking about. Like we haven't seen this. Like Spillane's been playing pretty well, but I mean, right here, like once you see Mahomes scramble, especially once you kind of get that internal clock, you got to turn your head and find somebody because this is where he's at his most dangerous, right?
Or the guy he just hit on the ground. What did you think? I don't know. That's just weird to watch. I mean, I don't know. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, and we'll get our good buddy Robert Spillane here one more time. Again, another scramble drill. Raiders have it pretty good this time. Malcolm Kuntz is going to get some good pressure. Wins around the edge. I mean, that's pretty damn impressive by Kuntz. I'm going to watch that again. I mean, You can see this. He beats him on his first move, right?
Mm.
Boom, right now. Forces Mahomes out of the pocket. But what can you not do against Patrick Mahomes? This is what he wants. He's going to press the line. And I get it. He's scrambling. But again, this is this guy's game, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to press the line. He wants you to come downhill. Because guess what? This is Max Crosby, who I guess, yes, has a bum knee, and Jerry Tillery, who is defensive tackle. It's their job to pursue the quarterback. Let them do that. And then once Mahomes crosses the line, and you're sure he crosses the line, maybe even give him a yard, then we can come downhill. What we can't do is leave somebody wide open in the middle of the field so that he can do one of those patented, off-platform throws. And I think, was this second or third down? Backs up. Second now, but 2nd and 10, they pick it up. I think they score a few plays later.
We're lucky he's grown up and matured because he could have had Kelsey on the run too. Because Kelsey was wide open.
Oh, he had a few plays. Trust me, Marcus. We'll get to our play later where he had an opportunity to hit a long touchdown and still hits a touchdown. All right.
Keep going.
This one, again, like I said, these get progressively more frustrating. Raiders are going to be in cover 3. And who's the one guy you want to stop on the Chiefs, Marcus?
Yeah, Travis Kelce.
So you think if Travis Kelce is running a crossing route over the field, instead of, hey, this is my favorite part. Watch Divine Diablo's hands. Hey, he's running across the field. See him right there? He's wide open. Like, Divine Diablo points it out, but instead of getting hands on him, I mean, granted, didn't work last time, or, working laterally.
All right, sorry, Matt. There's just nobody around him. There's nobody around you. Have some feel. I don't know, but keep going.
But yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like, this is the guy you don't want to let loose. Like, I understand you're playing cover 3 and you're spot dropping, but at some point when you see this guy and obviously he recognizes it and recognizes the play, maybe we just turn around with them. Maybe we play a football player instead of being a robot.
Exactly.
And carry him a little bit. Now, the other problem I have with this, and this, again, this is more on Diablo than it is on Spillane, but this is what we saw, I feel like, when Spillane was playing bad, is it's zone. He sees Pacheco start to leak out and takes the cheese. So that leaves it even more wide open for him and a bigger window. Now, again, he's not going to be able to in position to prevent the incompletion, but hey, let's stay deep and not let the best player on the field beat us. If Isaiah Pacheco catches the ball, we will run up and rally and tackle on him. Also, I have a few people on Twitter trying to put this on Marcus Epps, and I have no idea why.
What on Marcus Epps?
Trust me, it's been a whirlwind the last few days on Twitter that I've seen. They want to put it on the post safety to get rid of the drag, but whatever, it is what it is.
Wow.
But yeah, just frustrating.
Anyways.
And this is what I'm talking about, man. Like, it's like,
because to be honest, man, I think you're giving Spillane too much credit there. I think he's running with Sky Moore, but go ahead.
Sky Moore. Let me see.
I think he's running with Sky Moore. I think you're getting way too much credit
here. Maybe you might be right. Leaking out in the flat where not his assignment. Yeah. Either way, right. We got two guys. We got 2 guys covering grass.
Okay.
2 guys covering grass, not people. Also, we play zone defense back to front. These are basics.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here it is. I'm going to preface this. Marcus and I, we sent this before yesterday when I watched this. I'm not 100% sure. I can't 100% confidently tell you what coverage the Raiders in because the Raiders don't know what coverage they're in. I'm just going to let it run for a second. So, this is frustrating. This is week 12 in the NFL. The Chiefs are going to put this guy in motion. Clearly, Mick Robertson thinks it's man, and he's just going to carry that guy all the way out there. I think Nate Hobbs thinks it's man too. So my guess, and the linebackers don't spot drop. So my guess is they're trying to play cover 1, and we saw that crossing route earlier. Mm-hmm. Instead of trying to have like Jack Jones navigate through the trash and carry the receiver across the field or run with the receiver across the field, they're trying to pass this off to Nate Hobbs, which is fine if Nate Hobbs picks it up. The problem is he doesn't, and then he just loses the foot race to Rashee Rice to the end zone. Now, let me back this up even further. The other issue is, if this is cover one, we have two guys following 84 here, Watson. And if Mahomes wanted to, he throws it to 11 here for a touchdown too.
Yeah, because Mahomes sees Nate Hobbs running. Mahomes probably sees Nate Hobbs running right here. It's like, oh, I got a wide open thing. But I wonder if Nate Hobbs like stays in his area, it doesn't guard MVS. He probably throws to MVS. Would I watch this play again? Because you think about playing quarterback, right? The mesh is the call, right? And then you see Nate Hobbs running like wild, like it's easy.
And it's almost better that Mahomes doesn't throw it to him, because then now MVS can just go lead block on Trevon Merrick, and Trevon Merrick like has what, the entire field to cover against a guy that's got pretty decent wheels. Like,
yeah,
this is week 12 again, week 12 in the NFL, and there are two guys. There's a coverage bust so bad that two guys are wide open for a touchdown. Like, this is what I'm talking about, where I'm like, I don't recognize this team from the last few weeks. So, yeah. I wish I could tell you what coverage that was. But again, I don't think Nate Hobbs and Amik Robertson could tell you what coverage that was. I don't know if Patrick Graham could tell you what coverage that was, because I don't think they knew.
We call it cover negative. That's what I call that. I call that cover negative, because I don't know what the hell that was. You know what? That was crazy to watch. To be honest, that was pretty shocking. I was literally like in shock watching. I was like, wow, it was that bad. Wow.
Yeah. It's just guys open all day. Like, I wish, like, that's like, I almost wish it was just like, hey, like they were playing well and like Travis Kelce just beat you. Like, you just tip your cap. You know what I mean? Like, where you're just like, hey, you just got beat by a better team. But not only did they get beat by a better team, they beat themselves. Like, give them like two losses, or one win and a loss for the Raiders beating the Raiders. Like, that was why it was so infuriating to watch. And again, the run game was better, but that's also because we had plays like where there was two coverage busts on one play again, almost in December and Thanksgiving, at the highest level. Like,
play Luke
routine coverages, man. Like, not playing. Like, I don't understand how Robert's playing. Like, you make it this far and you're playing zone coverage front to back instead of back to front at this stage in the game. It's just frustrating, man.
Like, they gotta play Luke Masterson. I don't know what they're watching on film. I know I'm sure Divine Diablo is a great leader. I'm sure he's a great guy. He's a great guy with the green dot. I'm sure he is. I remember his speech from his rookie year. Great leadership. Love it. But as we can see, he can't play linebacker basically at this point. I mean, to me, I'm watching like, man, if you can't play linebacker right now, like, what are you gonna be able to play linebacker?
Yeah, no, I'm 1,000% with you. Like, again, I think this was a rarity for Spillane. He's been playing well lately and just had an off game. You know, it is what it is. But this for Diablo, except for like I think one game where we highlighted him, like, it's been pretty rough. Like, it's time. It's time to move on. Like, he was a Gruden pick. Like, let's just move on. Like, that was 2 regimes ago already. Like, it's time to give somebody else some reps, and hopefully after the bye week they'll watch the tape and just give him a shot, because what do you have to lose at this point? Like, Masterson, when he is in, like, he is playing well. Like, if you look at PFF, like, he grades out every time. He just gets 10 snaps. Like, but they're 10 damn good snaps.
Yeah, he causes like a fumble.
Yeah, he like makes a big play. Like
what? I don't know how many fumbles you have to cause as a linebacker before you get some snaps, bro. That's like, the other guy's not causing fumbles. The other dude on the other side has got 2 turnovers in the other team's territory.
Yeah, and I love the like I've like, there's been plenty of weeks where like I've watched like the broadcast tape. I'm like, oh, I kind of want to highlight Masterson today, but then I go back. I'm like, well, he only played 15 snaps or 10 snaps or whatever. I'm like, that's like, I'm not going to have enough to be able to like to talk about. Like, it's like, that's not a big enough sample size. So again, hopefully maybe they'll realize what's going on and make the switch for this week, because it was getting rough, and I've kind of seen enough personally from Divine Diablo. So
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do going forward. Yeah, because on offense, man, they're just too conservative. They acted like they had the best defense in football. It's like they are not the Ravens on the other side. I don't know why we're acting like we could just smash mouth, slow football, Patrick Mahomes. I just didn't get it. I just understand that even the thought process of that, it just irks me a little bit. And especially when you got Aiden O'Connell, and there's really nothing to lose at this point. Now they're 5-7. Like just now we just let's let him throw. Now it's time.
yeah,
Let's take the wheels off. You guys have babied him enough. He looked pretty good this game. Let's just see it at this point. I mean, if he airs it out and he's crappy airing it out, because at the end of the day, if we want a quarterback, we want a guy who can pass 40 times when we need him to pass 40 times. That is the key thing. When you have these quarterbacks, that's the difference to a lot of these guys. Do you want him passing 40 times?
yeah,
Right. And that's kind of the outlook. We got to figure it out. Can he pass the ball that many times and be effective? We can't baby him. This team's not good enough for him to be babied anymore. I want to find out if he could lead the offense.
I was gonna say there's one way to find out.
It's time, man. Because if they go draft a guy, I'm gonna want a guy who's gonna do that 30 times. That's why people talk about Justin Fields. I don't know Justin Fields can do that. So because we get to the playoffs, you might have to throw 40 times, my dude. You can't. You be at Patrick Mahomes. We got to get past him. He's throwing 60 times if he has to. He's gonna throw 60.
Yeah.
If he has to, So I don't know. You know what I mean? That's what we need. We need a guy who can throw 40 times and we can feel comfortable. All right, hey, we're out of this game. It's 20-6. If he goes out there and throws 45 times, we have a chance to win. But until then, I'm tired of this babying play action, baby the quarterback stuff. But it's a rookie. I get it, but I'm just tired of it, man. I am. Yeah. All right. Any last thoughts?
I mean, not much. Kind of like you said, like I feel like the last 5 weeks here, like obviously after the bye, like play with nothing to lose. I mean, it's a win-win at this point. Like you said, playoffs are out of the question. I think they're 12th in the AFC right now. Even I know they're only a game back, but they also don't have tiebreakers over teams like the Bills and I mean, got the Broncos left on the schedule to lose that tiebreaker against them. So yeah, play to lose. If you end up losing, it is what it is. Better draft pick and just go for it. Like you said, let the training wheels off and let's see some young guys play. I'm interested to see too Jack Jones what he can do. He's a guy like I said, one clip, not much you could do. A few little things here or there, nitpicking and that kind of stuff. But be interested to see if he can play a little bit and should get more reps now that Peters isn't around. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Because it's a good young. I mean, he's a second-year player, right? I believe.
Yeah.
See, I mean, that's cheap dude under contract for a while. I mean, maybe he can grow into a corner. They got some good young talent over there. They can maybe, nab another corner in the draft. They got some good young corners. So, I mean, that's a good outlook there.
Yeah. I mean, Jacoby Bennett too. Like, I know I've been hard on him too, and I know he hasn't played well, but throw him out there, see what he can do. Throw him into the fire a little bit and see if he can sink or swim. So definitely got some corners that can run because I mean you saw in that one clip like Jones closed pretty quickly on Rice. Like he has some pretty quick feet, and we know Bennett runs that 4.3 speed. So who knows? But something's got to change. That's for sure.
Something. All right, guys. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Thanks for checking this out. Of course, do some members content or this like second half offense or something like that. I'm do something cool. Maybe do some, JJ McCaffrey or McCarthy. I said McCarthy. Maybe do some, a little bit of him. I did Jaden Daniels last week, so check that out if you want to look at Jaden Daniels versus Alabama and you get hype for, I know some of you guys don't like Aiden O'Connell. I could already see it. He's pocket passer too much for you. So I got some Jaden Daniels up there in the membership section. So go ahead and check that out if it's your first time here. But like I said, hit the subscribe button one more time. Subscribe. We're out.